Blood Brother is next on the outside of Lion Red, then Duchessa, Ponderosa Miss as well back in the field here. Back with them also is Colonel Carrera, then came Delvine, and last of all is Rock Diva. There's 12 lengths first to last, 800 metres to go in the Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup. And the leader Blizzard joined on the outside by El Soldado. 2 lengths away Gojo Ellie travels well, then followed by Quest under a ride. Benzini patiently ridden, hasn't moved as yet but is about to now. Then came Graphic, surpasses out deeper from Show the World. King Kamada has been ridden for luck along the inside. Further back in the field is Lion Red as they turn and head in. 400 metres to go and El Soldado with the break. By 3 lengths here now from running on is Blizzard. Here's King Kamada coming after them now. So too then is Ponderosa Miss arriving with Benzini. Further back then to Gojo Ellie. El Soldado's in front. King Kamada's coming after it. 2 lengths away Ponderosa Miss and battling on down the outside. Rock Diva, King Kamada. Rock Diva is storming. King Kamada and Rock Diva, they go to the post. Rock Diva's won it from last. She wins the Barfoot and Thompson.
Does it almost feel like nothing changed at all? And if you close your eyes, does it almost feel like you?
So Rock Diva wins the Group 1 Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup there for Raffles, Tony Pike and Mark du Plessis. Good evening everybody, welcome along to Weigh In live from Ellerslie post day 2 of this fabulous Auckland Cup Carnival. Well, one half of the dynamic duo is with us at the moment, the other half still to come. Butch Castles, good evening to you. A little bit like the derby on Saturday, the feature going down to the wire. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening, DA. Yes, it was. She's absolutely flowing the last bit, hasn't she, Rock Diva? Look, they rode her specifically to come with the last burst at them, and they got it bang on today, everyone that devised the plan. She's always looked like 2 miles was a go, and today it was.
Sure was. Look, if you'd like to get in contact with us, you can via social media. You know all the channels. All right, let's concentrate on Rock Diva, trained by Tony Pike, ridden by Mark du Plessis. They've both joined us here. First of all, Tony, congratulations.
Yeah, thanks, Daryl. Great thrill.
A mare you've always had a lot of time for.
Yeah, look, she's always been a special mare. As a 3-year-old filly, you know, not many 3-year-olds running 2 Oaks in a derby, and you know, arguably she was very unlucky in Queensland. She drew the outside gate in the Queensland Oaks, got a long way back, flew home for 4th, and then she ran into all sorts of problems in the Queensland Derby from the 600, and you know, was probably unlucky not to get a lot closer in both of those races. So, you know, she's proved she's a very good 3-year-old filly, and look, she probably came back. She was a bit flat to start off this preparation as a 4-year-old, but you know, her last start in the Avondale Cup really proved she was almost back to her peak, and yeah, she got the job done today.
As Butch said earlier, the last couple of runs have certainly indicated that she was going to get 2 miles.
Yeah, exactly. She's a filly that's, or a mare that's, as Bruce mentioned to me one day, he said, can you ask Butch to move that winning post 10 metres further down the track, and she probably would have won a couple more. She was always coming, and just leaving her runs a touch too late. And you know, the 2 miles today really suited her, and you know, managed to get to the winning post first this time.
Congratulations to you, Mark. Nice to have you with us on the show again, and talk us through the run, because you appeared to get held up on the corner the first time around, didn't you?
Yeah, I did, yeah, and look, she just, at that time she was very relaxed and in a lovely rhythm, and they just sort of fell back on me a little bit, but luckily 2 strides later she relaxed again, and yeah, I was coming into the straight for the first time. I was a little bit, I didn't want to be last anyway, but she picked a path through them, and she's just too good in the end.
The riding instructions sort of fell out the window a little bit, didn't they?
Well, I came here today, coming to the races, thinking that I was going to ride her like the best horse in the race and try and overcome a wide barrier by going forward with no weight, but talking to Tony, he knocked that on the head pretty quick, and just said, no, just do nothing early, and then try and pick a path once you come up over the hill, and it worked out perfect.
Mark, she was really big late. It looked like you were going to get half held up there. You came off the back of Graphic, I think it was. Quickly out sprinted Show the World, and then once she got clear air, she absolutely flew the last bit, didn't she?
Yeah, she did, Butch. She was always travelling from inside the half mile to the 400. I had my feet in her mouth really, and I was just trying to pick a path. I didn't want to go back in because the inside was cut up. But yeah, once she got out, and the last sort of furlong, she really flew at them, and she's won, which is great.
52 kilos makes a big difference late in those 2 mile races. When she's got no weight on her back, she's able to pick herself up and fly.
And you know, the other 2 Auckland Cup championships that I have won have all been on mares with 52, and it's been a very similar kind of thing. The weight's been the biggest factor, and if you can stay and get out of the way of the horses falling back on you, yeah, it's a huge help for sure.
Pikey, this is a race you've specifically targeted, whether you had the option of running in the City of Auckland Cup on New Year's Day, you chose the Dunstan, you had the option of going down to a Wellington Cup for a much bigger stake and black type status, but you chose to stay in the north and run on Karaka Million Night because this was the target.
Yeah, this was always the target race for this season. You know, probably the City of Auckland Cup, we thought she was going well and just didn't want to risk winning it and probably copping a penalty for the Auckland Cup, and then probably the Wellington Cup. The decision to stay north was more so probably the travelling factor. We just didn't want to put too much travel into her, you know, with obviously the Auckland Cup in mind.
You mentioned earlier in an interview I saw, or it may have even been in the acceptance speech of your trophy, that this race was special because of what Mum and Dad did all those years ago in winning the race.
Yeah, look, it was a long time ago. Back in 1981, they had a very good star in Drum. You know, he was an outstanding star of his time, and he won the Auckland Cup. And look, I was probably almost just out of nappies at that stage, but I still remember the party back in the hotel in Hawke's Bay when they arrived home, and you know, that was a great thrill for them, and it's something that stuck with them for a long time as well. So, you know, to win the race, you know, although I'm only the trainer, it's still a great buzz.
What hotel are we going to tonight?
No, unfortunately, it'll be Hotel Cambridge back at home. No, we'll take all the crew back home tonight, and look, yeah, maybe over the weekend we'll look to do something.
And you talk of the crew, Don Selwood, way back then associated with that winner, Drum, and he's part of the team now, part of the crew you talk of.
Yeah, exactly. Don trained Drum for my parents, and Rock Diva's his girl. He loves it a bit, and he spends most of the morning fussing around with her, and I said to him today, you better come up just in case she wins the first Group 1, Don. You can't not be here when she wins it. So he came up today, he was down at the types. I said, come up and watch it with us and have a beer before the race. And no, he said, and he scuttled off, and I think he watched it down in the types on the TV. He was that nervous. So, you know, it's great for him to still be involved in the game. You know, he's been a great trainer in his own right, and you know, he's a big help to the team at home too. Just to have an old head around the stables in the morning, it's fantastic.
He travels your horses too, doesn't he? He goes to, I think he went to Brisbane last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he took Sacred Star, Rock Diva and Sanseer to Queensland for us last year. Kate Ormsby and Don went and spent probably 7 weeks in Brisbane, and look, it's just fantastic being able to talk to Don each morning. You know that if you're not there for the week for various reasons, you know, I can't be over there the whole time, you know, the job's getting done.
Must be like last of the summer wine there with him and Wayne in the morning.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. They, yeah, I think Don's pretty lucky he's laid back, because they like chalk and cheese, and they bicker and fight a wee bit, but they're still great mates.
Yeah. Mark, this race has been special to you. You mentioned it, three wins now. You've been on some raffles horses over the years. You've had a lot of success and a lot of luck for them. You pick up rides, Leith rides a lot for them, but you certainly pick up the lightweight ones, and ones I think you've had some fortuitous times when he's been suspended as well. Been a great association.
It has, actually. I think I stand to be corrected, but I think it's only my 5th ride for them, and I think it's 4 winners and 1 second, and all been for Tony. So I hope that continues. No, but I've always known Leith's obviously had the first pick, and he's very close to Dado. But I just, you know, thank you for always supporting me, Tony, and obviously Dado. It's been a pleasure.
Tony, you also had success in the last with Hollywood Lad, a horse that hasn't had a lot of luck of late, but gee, it was a nice win in the last.
Yeah, look, he's a horse that came back from Brisbane. His form had tailed off over there. He showed promise here as a 3-year-old when trained by Roger James, and one of the part owners of another mare I train in the stables just asked me to take him back and just to see if what I thought, and if I thought he could win a race or two. So look, he came back and he's thrived since he's been home. His run at Tirapa was quite good. He got back on back that day on a day that it was very hard to make up ground and closed well late. So we're relatively confident today. Rory gave him a great trip. Just loved the trail, and got out the right time. And look, he's still floating and pricking his ears a wee bit. So you know, with a bit of gear change, there might be another win or two in him yet.
We saw last year's winner of the Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup go on to run a placing in a Melbourne Cup. Is that the dream? Is that the aspiration that she might be able to get herself there?
Oh, look, I think it's a dream of you know, any racehorse owner to have a runner in a Melbourne Cup. You know, we know she gets the 2 miles. The Melbourne Cups, you know, it's only a dream at this stage, and obviously we'll let the dust settle and see how she pulls up. We'll talk to the crew and Bruce and Dado, and yeah, we'll decide if we nominate and head that way. But yeah, obviously it's definitely not an easy task. But yeah, as you say, the winner of the Cup last year was very good, and he ran third in it this year. So, yeah, that's possibly something we'll look at, but yeah, we'll have a good talk before we head down that path.
The other thing is with her, Tony, she's now a very, very valuable broodmare, isn't she? I mean, you know, she's the family that the Raffles team know so well, and now she's a Group 1 winner in her own right. Gee, she's worth some money.
Yeah, look, she is. Yeah, obviously a lot of thanks to Guy Mulcaster for that. He found Shamrocker at the yearling sales, and I think they only paid $65,000 for her, and she turned into, you know, one of the top class 3-year-old fillies in Australia. She was just outstanding. She was exceptional, and just because of her, you know, obviously Lucky Unicorn hadn't set the world on fire, but you know, Guy found her at the sales as well, and we all went and looked at her, and yeah, it was probably ridiculous paying $200,000 for Lucky Unicorn that year, but
not now.
No, she was a lovely mare, and obviously Shamrocker had put the runs on the board, and you know, it's been a fantastic result, you know, obviously with her as well, and you know, Shamrocker's now at Shadai in Japan, and you know, Rock Diva's obviously very valuable, you know, broodmare now herself.
All right, so Rock Diva wins the Group 1 Auckland Cup, trained by Tony Pike and ridden by Mark du Plessis. Let's hear from the beaten brigade, starting with the runner-up, Kelly Myers.
Kelly, what'd you make of King Kamara?
Well, he was home for me. I got very, very excited. The horse went super. He kicked almost a little bit too good, sort of hit the front and just got caught that last little bit. But he'll get his Group 1 over ground.
Okay, let's move on to Noel Harris. Noel Ponderosa Miss, another gallant third.
Oh, huge run, mate, especially, you know, she had those problems with a bit of a virus, and I don't think she's 100% knocked it off, and you know, near brought a tear to my eye. You know, she just put in so brave, and probably 200. I thought, wow, she's gonna do it, and I'm, you know, really happy with her.
Okay, we'll move on to Opie Bolson. Opie showed the world not a bad run for fourth.
No, it was a good run. We probably got shuffled back at going down the back straight, lost a few lengths, but he fought to the line quite well, and I think he's probably a year away, so next year will be his go, I think.
Lindsay, what'd you make of El Senado?
Hey, listen, it was a good, honest run. Just better horses beat him on the day. He tried his ass off.
All right, so there's the beaten brigade from the Group 1 Barfoot and Thompson Auckland Cup, and I thought Kamara very, very brave in the wash-up. Butch, terrific run.
Oh, outstanding run. Look, there was some conjecture as to whether he'd stay. I don't think any question mark. He stayed and stayed well, but he got outstayed in the finish. His run was super, and look, he's a young horse on the up as well. You wouldn't take it away that he's going to win a really nice race.
Twiggy's helicopter's just arrived, so he'll be with us very shortly. Tony, just quickly, LA Eagle, your thoughts on the run?
Yeah, look, wrapped in the run. Look, I thought if he was going to get beaten, it was going to be today. The 59 kilos, and look, he wasn't rock hard fit. Admittedly, you know, Rory in hindsight probably should have stayed on the fence. He had a lovely trail. He's decided to come off, and Forefront's just put him straight back down there, and you know, he's had to change ground, come back to the inside under the 59 kilos, and he was giving the two first and second horse a lot of weight as well. So, you know, he just struggled to pick up that last bit and get the win. But, you know, encouraged by his first up effort, and he'll improve a lot off that.
Even though his record at 1200 is outstanding, Tony, he gives me the impression that he wants to go further now.
Yeah, a lot of the problem with him, Butch, is, you know, he's a headstrong horse, and he tends to want to over-race a touch in his races. So, you know, that's probably why we have kept him to the shorter trips, just trying to teach him to settle. And as Roy said today, he is getting better at that. So, look, we'll probably take him to Sierra on the 4th of April, I think it is, for an open 1400 metre race. And should he perform well in that, he'll be back for the Easter.
Mark, on the back of that win, you must go into Saturday with some confidence. You got a really, really good ride in the Haunui Farm Diamond Stakes with Recanto. Gee, was good at Matamata.
He was very good, Butch, and I think from all accounts he's gone forward from that run, and they've just they're adding blinkers, which I think will be even better. He's very laid back colt, and he just I think it won't fire him up, it'll just make him better.
The one blemish on his record, because his record's outstanding, apart from that one blemish here on New Year's Day, but he had excuses on that occasion.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what the excuses were, but I've
well, Stephen had some.
Yeah, I've felt him underneath me since then has given me a quality feel, and he's a lovely colt, and he could very well be one of the best 2-year-olds I've ridden so far.
Okay. Well, that's a big rap. It'll be hard to beat.
Yeah. All right, well, thank you so much for coming in and joining us here on the set tonight. Congratulations once again on your win, and all the best on Saturday.
Thanks for having me. Thanks a lot.
And Tony, congratulations. What have you got lining up on Saturday? Anything?
No, day off on Saturday. No, we've run out of bullets.
As James McDonald says, run out of bullets.
Run out of bullets. So no, we will have nothing in on Saturday, but yeah, it'd be quite nice to have a weekend off all the same.
Indeed, indeed, and no doubt watching the races as well. Thanks very much for coming in.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations.
Thanks, Daryl. Thanks so much.
Tony Pike with us here on Weigh In, live from Ellerslie. Stephen Marsh is next.